You're hemorrhaging time, not in ways you can easily see. It's the 12 minutes you spend copy-pasting a lead from your contact form into your CRM. It's the 30 seconds you waste forwarding a Stripe receipt to your accountant's folder. It's the hour on Friday afternoon you spend manually compiling a weekly report that nobody asked you to write by hand. Added up across a year and you've given away roughly 3 weeks of your life to work a computer could have done while you slept. The question isn't whether you should automate. The question is which tool you trust with the nervous system of your business. Welcome back to Venture Void. If you're building something alone or nearly alone, this channel exists for you. Today we're going deep on 3 automation platforms that every solo founder and small business operator will eventually have to choose between: Zapier, Make, and n8n. Not surface level comparisons, not sponsored takes, real operational differences that will either save you money and time or quietly cost you both. Here's the problem. Most solo operators pick an automation tool the same way they pick a project management app, based on the first YouTube video they watched or because someone in a Reddit thread said it was good, and then they build a dozen workflows on top of it before realizing they're paying $300 a month for something that has a $50 equivalent. Or worse, they go the cheap route, hit a capability ceiling 6 months in, and have to rebuild everything from scratch. Both outcomes are brutal when you're running lean, and the 3 tools we're covering today are not created equal. They serve different operator profiles, different complexity tolerances, and very different budgets. Let's start with Zapier, because it's where most people begin. Zapier is the most polished, most integrated, and most expensive of the 3. In 2026, it supports over 7,000 app connections. That number matters if you're running a business on niche software, something like Kajabi or Copper CRM or a specific e-commerce tool with a small user base. The Zapier library almost certainly has it. The interface is clean and opinionated. You build what Zapier calls zaps, and each zap is essentially a linear chain. A trigger happens, then an action fires, sometimes with a filter or format or step in between. For a solo founder who needs something running in under an hour and has no appetite for technical complexity, this is genuinely powerful. You can connect Typeform to Notion to Gmail without reading a single line of documentation. It just works, but the pricing is where Zapier starts to sting. The free tier in 2026 gives you 100 tasks per month and 5 zaps. That ceiling disappears fast. A single lead capture workflow can consume 20 tasks per day if you're getting any real volume. The professional plan sits around $49 a month for 2,000 tasks, and the team plan jumps to $69. If you're running serious automation, think an e-commerce store processing 200 orders a month, each order triggering 4 or 5 actions. You're looking at potentially $200 to $400 a month just in Zapier fees. For a business doing $5,000 a month in revenue, that's a meaningful slice of margin gone to middleware. Now, Make, formerly Integromat, sits in the middle of this stack, and middle is not a weakness here, it's a design philosophy. Make visualizes your workflows as actual flowcharts on a canvas. You can see branching logic, parallel paths, iterators, aggregators. For someone who thinks visually and wants to build automations that are more than just linear chains, Make opens doors that Zapier keeps locked behind its enterprise tier. You can, for example, build a scenario, that's what Make calls its workflows, that receives a webhook from your website, splits the data into multiple branches based on lead source, enriches one set of leads through Clearbit, routes another set directly to a Slack channel, and logs everything to a Google Sheet, all inside a single scenario. In Zapier, that's multiple zaps and multiple paid task counts. In Make, it's one scenario run. The pricing reflects this efficiency. Make's free plan gives you 1,000 operations per month, and an operation in Make is more granular than a Zapier task, meaning each individual module execution counts, but the scenarios themselves are uncapped. Their core plan at $10.95 a month covers 10,000 operations. Their Pro plan at $18.95 covers 100,000 operations. For a solo business doing real automation volume, Make routinely comes in at 1/3 the cost of an equivalent Zapier setup. A concrete scenario, a content creator automating YouTube upload notifications, newsletter distribution, and social posting across 5 platforms, could run that entire workflow and Make for under $20 a month. Zapier would charge them north of $80 for the same volume. Then there's n8n, and this is where the conversation shifts entirely. n8n is open source, self-hostable, and built for operators who either have technical comfort or are willing to develop it. If you host n8n yourself on a VPS through Hetzner or DigitalOcean, for example, you can run it for as little as $5 to $8 a month in server costs with essentially unlimited workflow executions. No per task pricing, no operations caps. You own the infrastructure. For a small business running thousands of automations monthly, this is a completely different financial equation. The cloud-hosted version of n8n starts at $20 a month and scales up, but the self-hosted path is where the real leverage lives. The interface is developer adjacent. It uses a node-based canvas similar to Make, but with native support for JavaScript and Python expressions directly inside your workflow logic. You can write a small function node that cleans and reformats data exactly how you need it without relying on Zapier's formatter or Make's text aggregator. The app integrations number around 400, far fewer than Zapier. But n8n supports custom HTTP requests and webhooks natively, which means if an app has an API, n8n can talk to it. In practice, this covers the vast majority of modern SaaS tools. There's also an active community template library where you can import pre-built workflows for things like AI agent pipelines, CRM sync setups, and content automation chains. Here's what these tools actually replace in a real one-person operation. A virtual assistant doing data entry and file routing. Gone. The manual step of moving Stripe payment data into a Google Sheet for your accountant? Automated. The weekly task of pulling analytics from 3 platforms and compiling them into one report, scheduled and sent automatically. If you're paying a VA $200 a month for repetitive digital tasks, the right automation stack can absorb most of that work entirely. Even at Zapier's higher price point, you're net positive. At Make or n8n pricing, you're dramatically positive. Now the catch, because there always is one, none of these tools are truly set and forget. Workflows break, an app updates its API, a field name changes in your CRM. Zapier will email you when a Zap fails, but it won't fix it. Make and n8n have error handling you can build in. Retry logic, fallback paths, notification alerts, but you have to build them. The more complex your automation, the more maintenance surface you're creating. For a solo operator, this means you need to budget roughly 30 to 60 minutes a month just for automation housekeeping. Not a deal breaker, but a real cost that the glossy demos never mentioned. The verdict, and it's not one size fits all. If you're non-technical, need obscure app integrations, and value your time over your money, start with Zapier. If you're moderately comfortable with logic and want visual control with far better pricing, Make is your operating system. If you have some technical appetite, want true ownership, and plan to scale automation volume significantly, n8n self-hosted is the most powerful and cheapest long-term play available right now. Many serious solo operators actually run Make as their primary layer, and n8n for the complex custom workflows that need code-level flexibility. That hybrid setup costs under $30 a month and handles nearly everything a one-person business can throw at it. You're not building a team. You're building a machine that works while you're thinking about the next level. That machine runs on automation, and the tool you choose to build it matters more than most people realize, until they're $300 a month into the wrong choice. If this kind of operational depth is what you're looking for, subscribe to Venture Void. We publish every week. No filler, no fluff, just the mechanics of building a lean, automated, profitable operation. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one, because we're going deep on AI agent stacks next, specifically how to wire together GPT-4o, n8n, and a vector database to build a customer support system that costs $12 a month to run. You don't want to miss that one?